Okay, some of you may know that I've moved house. And I moved into a smaller room, but everything seems to fit in nicely. Now, this is supposed to be a channel update, so I better tell you about some things that I'm doing and not doing. I'm minimizing. It doesn't look like it at the moment. Oh, I bought a new camera. More on that later. Yep, computer set up, it's working fine, so I can edit. Give you a quick tour of the house. That's the bathroom and toilet, cupboard. A really tiny hobbit room. I mean, I think you can fit a bed in here and then that's it. The other room, which I originally was gonna get, but it's yeah, it's pink, and also it came with a bed that I don't need, and the owners don't want to get rid of the bed, so I opted for the smaller room. Master bedroom, small living room, kitchen, dining, cat. Downstairs toilet. And entertaining area. There's my room up there. There's the swimming pool. And a decent sized backyard. The house next door is getting a new roof. That's the noise you can hear in the background. This backyard is big enough to actually have another house built in it. Another good thing is we've got a little fireplace. And if it wasn't for that block of flats, I could actually set up a decent archery range in here. Oh well. Now in here we have a really big garage, big enough for, I think it's 4 cars. That's currently my stuff. Previous tenant who's going to be collecting that sometime in the next few weeks. Also a different previous tenant. Once that shit's gone, I'm going to get my stuff out of storage and put it here. The girls that I'm sharing with, this is all their stuff. There's a bar there, as you can see. This will make a really, really good workshop. But unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, I am moving. I'm relocating to the UK in late December, middle January. So yeah, I'll just turn off now and I'll come back on once I'm inside the house. Okay, like I said, I am moving. I'm relocating to the UK. Now initially my trip was going to be 3 months, so I would be spending the month of February house sitting, and then when my friend got back from New Zealand, I was going to be travelling and filming March and April and then coming back to Australia. Now with regards to work, with employment, basically I've been back in Australia for about, I think 7 years now, and I've been trying on and off since then, and pretty much trying permanently for the last 2-3 years to get a full-time job or a permanent job to increase my hours. Now, I've been looking outside of the security industry, but no luck at all. Even looked at cleaning, because I used to be a cleaner for St Thomas's and Guy's Hospital in London. No luck with that. security industry in Australia is such that it's been flooded with new immigrants who take a lot of Indians doing security, doing short courses, getting their security license, and then taking jobs, and basically they're getting screwed by a lot of the security firms in this country because they're providing them with employment contracts, and if they sign a contract they got a job. What they don't realise is that a lot of these contracts, they pay them under the award, and I know this firsthand because in the last couple of years, I've met other security officers who are new to the country, who are from India, and I've asked them, oh yeah, but how much are you getting paid? How much does the company pay? And they're telling me the lowest, one guy told me the lowest figure was $15 an hour, flat rate. Now, our industry, I believe the minimum wage for day shift, I think it's around about the $18 or $19, and then you get penalty rates on top of that for working night shift or Saturdays and Sundays and public holidays, and these guys are not getting this. So a lot of firms are hiring a ton of staff who are, they've got their license to work, and they got their security licenses and whatnot, and the companies are saving tens of thousands of dollars by underpaying them. And because they don't know the legislation in this country, they don't argue. So the companies are getting away with it. The company I work for pay above the award. Daytime hourly rate, I think last time I checked, was just under $25 an hour, and then evening shift, which is after 6 p.m. through until 6 a.m. is night rate. I think I'm on about I think $28, $29. Saturdays is time and a half, and Sundays is double time. Public holidays, I believe, is double time and a half or triple time. I can't remember. I've got to look into it. Problem is, they've only got a couple of contracts. One with a well-known 24-hour chain that's open 24 hours and also has a lot of petrol stations. And when they refit the stores, we come in and look after the stores in the evenings. And also when the fuel goes into the underground tank at petrol stations, we come in and we look after the petrol stations. The other contract they've got is there's a private college here in Brisbane that at the end of the year, graduation time, they get us in for a couple of weeks just to look after the site, because they've got students boarding there, and the seniors have a tendency to run amok in the last couple of nights before they graduate. So we look after that, and also the maritime industry. There's a site where I work at where we look after entry and exit of ship's crew, visitors and so on, basically doing passport checks and luggage checks and stuff like that. But that's sporadic because they don't always have a ship come in. One week it could be one ship's in for maybe 6 hours, and then the next week we could have 3 ships in for a total of 60 hours. It fluctuates all over the place. So I have been surviving some fortnights, some months. I get fairly big paychecks, and other months, I can go for a month and maybe only get 20 hours, sometimes not even that. So it really does fluctuate. Now I looked online at the job market in the UK, and it's significantly better. There are a lot more jobs available. Obviously, the population's greater and a greater density of businesses and stuff like that. But also, I've been back here in Australia for, like I said, about 7 years or just over 7 years now, and I've got itchy feet. I need to get out. I need to do some more travelling. So I figured, well, I'm going to the UK to house sit, so why don't I just go over and stay? When I leave Australia, because I'm not a citizen, I'm a permanent resident. When I leave Australia, I need to get a re-entry visa that allows me back into the country when I come back, and that re-entry visa is valid for 5 years. So what I can do is leave the country, go to the UK, and if things don't work out, I've got a 5-year period where at any time I can come back to Australia. But I've also been looking into properties for sale, looking to buy a house, and looking to buy a house back in the valleys where I'm from, in Wales. Now, to get onto the property market in places like London or Birmingham, Manchester, the big cities, you're looking at £400,000 for a house, or an apartment or a flat or something like that. In the valleys, because it's away from the main cities, it's probably about half an hour, 45 minutes from Cardiff. House prices for a terrace house, I'd say, start at about £35,000 for one that needs to be fixed. One that's been gutted and it needs new plumbing, new wiring. But basically just a fixer-upper, a DIY. What do you call it? Something that's run down that you want to fix up yourself. You can buy something like that from about £30,000 to £35,000. A house that's in good condition, ready to move in, everything's done, proper kitchen, living room, bathrooms, everything like that, £50,000 to £60,000. And I'm thinking, can I live in the valleys and work somewhere else? Now, where I live at the moment is in the area called Pine Rivers. We've had job sites in the Gold Coast. So this is the greater Brisbane area. Brisbane City is right in the middle. I'm up here. The Gold Coast is down here. And anywhere from an hour and a half to 2.5 hour commute. And I've done it. It didn't really bother me that much. I'm used to travelling long distances. So I thought to myself, well, if I do go the route of actually buying a house, it'll either be out in the countryside, or it'll be in the valleys, in the valleys. And I was thinking, well, what can I do for employment? I can still work in the security industry, and as long as I've got a car or two, I'll probably buy 2 cars, get one first, which is reliable, get a second one, and then alternate between a weekend and weekday driving between the two. Because one thing I did run into is if I've got one car, a couple of times the car had to go in for a service or had issues with it, and I had to not work that night or for a couple of days because I had no transport. So I don't want that to happen in the UK. So I was thinking, I could, wherever I base myself, I'll be in London for the first good amount of time, probably a year or so, I think. I can then relocate if I do go the option of buying a house, wherever I'm going to end up. I can branch out and I can travel. I'll be willing to commute an hour, hour and a half. So also, obviously depending on where the commute is going to and from, because you've got to look at things like peak hour traffic in the mornings and the afternoons. I don't want to look at a place like have a job here and have to commute to here, and middle of the day it takes me an hour to commute, whereas in the morning during rush hour it may take me 2.5 hours. or in the afternoon, maybe take me 2 hours or 2.5 hours to get home, because then an 8-hour day turns into a bloody 14-hour day or something like that, you know. I've got to take into consideration everything: where I'm going to be living, when I'm going to be living there, how much I'm earning, you know, all that sort of stuff. Already I have downsized quite considerably. I no longer have a fridge, I no longer have a freezer, because I've got that here, so I don't need it anymore. And my next move from this house will be to the UK. The next few things I'm getting rid of is the rest of my white goods, like the sandwich maker, the Breville, the toaster, the microwave, a blender, all the kitchen electrical appliances, which I look after my stuff really well. It's always clean. Items that I've had my microwave now for, I think it's about 4 years. You look at it, it looks brand spanking new. It's got no stains on it. Every seam where two plates, like the outer shielding of the microwave, the metal, pressed metal, and the plastic door and everything, where they all meet, where they join, spotless, no dust or anything. I keep stuff clean, so I can resell everything at a decent price. But because they are secondhand and they are old, I would not go more than half of its original retail value. So the microwave, I think I paid $110 for roughly. I'd sell that for like $50. But what I plan on doing is getting the microwave and all the other kitchen electrical goods together and sell them as, you know, a package deal. And brilliant for setting someone up. First time buyer, someone's moving out of house first time, buy this, it's everything you need, you know, the microwave, a Breville sandwich press, you know, the blender, all the stuff that you need in the kitchen, you know, boom, here it is. $150 for the lot, you know, something like that. The desk, my computer desk, which you saw in the start of the video, that and my single bed are the only two items of furniture that I need to pass on or sell. Again, the desk, even though it's second hand, it's in pristine condition. The bed is in good condition. My shelf unit over there is a collapsible unit that can actually be shipped to the UK, because what I'm going to do is actually rent what they call a pod. It's a fixed size cube type device, or, you know, box where you put all your belongings in. It then gets sealed up and gets put on a boat and sent over, and then it gets delivered to wherever you're living. I think it takes 8 to 12 weeks or 8 to 15 weeks to get over there. So, you know, I could pack all the stuff up in the next 3-4 months, fly over, and then a few months after I've arrived, my goods arrive, you know. And the price is reasonable. They start at about $400, and for everything that I've got, which I need to downsize everything, I'm looking at probably maximum $800 to have it all shipped. So it's reasonable, you know. Because I've got a lot of collectibles. I've got lots of things, you know, things that white goods, kitchen stuff, all that can be replaced quite cheaply. Furniture can be replaced. Things like this, I cannot replace that. So that I can replace, but I don't want to. That I definitely cannot replace. I found that by chance. You know, I got my records. Yeah, I could buy a new Stormtrooper helmet if I wanted to, but I don't. You know, all my swords are coming with me. You know, stuff like that fan, that upright fan. Yeah, I can buy one over there. So, yeah. And this is I've got 2 of these, and they just literally slot together. And that's the height of it. I think it's 185 centimeters 1.85 meter. So yeah, that is that's what I'm up to at the moment, and I can tell you now, I've got so many things running through my head. It's a big change for me. I've been over to the UK a couple of times, no big deal, but that was me and my backpack. You know, it's like a working holiday, extended working holiday. I'm actually moving all my belongings, all going back over there. So yeah, I've got 5 years to make a go of it. So let's wrap it up for now, and if you've been watching right through to the end, thank you, and I will sign off and talk to you next time. All right, thanks for watching the update. Thanks guys, see ya.